Okay, so artboards. What are they? How are they used? They can kind of be like pages, but I usually don't use them as pages unless it's 3 or less. If you're going to go over 3 pages, you should probably switch over to INDESIGN. Let's take a look at an example where there are multiple artboards, but they're not really used as pages. Here's one really common use for artboards: branding packages. Setting up your entire branding in one file is really convenient. We have our logo here, and then our logo with text in a horizontal layout, and then a more vertical, still horizontal, but more vertical layout. We could also add an artboard for typography, icons, even things like color palettes. So to create a new artboard, you can hit Shift-O, and that'll bring you to your artboard tool, which is right over here. You'll notice your screen gets dark, and then it'll kind of focus in on one artboard, the selected artboard. And you can see over here in your artboards panel that the first artboard is selected. Then you can click and drag holding Shift and Option or Shift and Alt on a PC to make a duplicate of this one. Then you would just, make your changes and you would have this other artboard. You can also rename your artboards. So you would get over here on the right side and double click to select the artboard you want. Then double click on the name and just change this to AL logo or whatever. I'll do the same with these other artboards. I'll put AL horizontal, AL stacked, and then I actually don't want this one, so I'm going to delete it. Then I can export these as transparent PNG files or JPEGs by just going to File, Export, Export As. We can choose Use Artboards right down here. That's important. That way Illustrator knows to make a separate file from each artboard. And you'll want to make sure all is selected, but you can also choose a range here and then export. I want these all to be in 300 ppi with a transparent background. So we'll say OK. And now let's take a look out here to see what happened. We've got this first one. The first part of the name is the file name, and the second part is the artboard name. So if I preview these, on Mac you can hit spacebar to preview these. I don't think you have the option on PC, but we can flip through and see what they look like. Other uses for artboards are social media graphics, and I do have an example of that. I have several different artboards here with different sizes and layouts of my design. And I could export these to JPEGs and then upload them on the different social media platforms. You could also do things like print design layouts. For example, develop a flyer, a brochure, business cards, and posters with consistent branding using different artboards for each. Although, personally, I actually keep those as separate files because each one is so involved, but it is an option. Another nice use of artboards is the ability to put them in presentation mode for when you're showing your boss or a client. So I'll come up here to View and Presentation Mode to show you what I mean. So it takes your graphics, makes them full screen, and gets rid of everything else. And so it's really easy to present everything that way. And then you just hit Escape to get out of that. Now the reason I don't use these as pages of, say, a booklet is because InDesign has much better capabilities for handling multiple page documents than Illustrator does. But if you just have 1 or 2, it's totally fine to do that. All right, I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you liked it and you want to see more videos like this, just click on the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, and you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.